Hello dear learners, welcome to English at MU's. I hope you are going good and making the best use of your fleeting time. If you are preparing for IELTS and going to sit for journal module, this video is for you. Because in this video I am going to discuss with you the format and the strategy and some important things regarding formal letter writing. Understanding of formal letter writing is very important because only then you can make practice in a right way. Good practice, right practice will help you go for high bands for sure. I am Amritashaan, and making things easy, interesting and impressive for the learners is a passion with me. So let's get started and first of all have little discussion regarding the formal letter. Formal letters are generally the letters which are written for official purposes. That is why the structure of these letters remain quite orderly and the language remains quite conventional. These letters are written in a stipulated format and they go with complete logical structure. So basically these are the professional letters that are written to the head of the departments like managers or teachers, principals, the person, the head of the department. Generally, we do not know the name of these type of persons. So dear learner, if you are having any doubt regarding formal letter, semi-formal letter and informal letter, you can check my previous video and can have a detailed discussion, can have a detailed information regarding these three categories of letters which are importantly asked in IELTS journal module writing. So now I am having this letter for you. This is the letter that we are going to do together. You missed a flight due to some mismanagement at the airport. Write a letter to the airline. You missed a flight due to some mismanagement. एयरपोर्ट पर कुछ मिसमैनेजमेंट किसी प्रॉब्लम के करके आपने फ्लाइट मिस किया तो अब आपको लेटर लिखना है एयरलाइन अथॉरिटीज को. In your letter you are going to describe what happened that caused you miss the flight. ऐसा क्या हुआ कि जिसके कारण आपका फ्लाइट मिस हो गया. Explain how missing your flight affected you and make it clear what you would like the airline to do now. फ्लाइट मिस होने से आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम हुई और अब आप क्लियरली बताएं कि आप क्या चाहेंगे कि एयरलाइन अथॉरिटीज क्या करें. So they have given us a letter, they have given us a situation and keeping all these things in our mind, we have to write this letter. And this is a formal letter, you can understand, because we are writing to the airline authorities, we are writing to the head of the department over there. So now this is the time to understand the little strategy and structure of writing formal letter. If you keep this strategy line in your mind, the things are going to be little easy for you. You have to go with the greeting first of all. Then you have to write one paragraph describing the reason. Second paragraph would be for explaining the situation, what thing happened over there. And in the third paragraph, dear learners, you will make the request. And if I talk about the present letter, if I talk about the letter that we are going to do together, here we will make a request to the authorities finally that what we want from them now. So there will be three paragraphs: reason, explanation and request. Ending, sign off and name would be the three last important things with which we will be completing our letter. The things will become, this strategy line will become more clear to you if you stay with me till the end and understand all the points one by one. So this is our startup and I read it for you. Dear sir or madam, I am writing this letter to express my utter disappointment regarding unprofessional delay during the pre-departure services at your airport. A. B. New Terminal 1 for Air India flights. I read the things again. I am writing this letter to express my utter disappointment regarding unprofessional dealing during the pre-departure services at your airport, New Terminal 1 for Air India flights. I request you to consider my case favorably in regard of my flight dated the 12th October 2020, Air India's 773 ticket number D78905 from Delhi to Mumbai at 5 a.m. I could not board the flight due to redundant delay at the security gate. So dear learners, here in this letter you have expressed the reason why you are writing this letter. You have told that you are utterly disappointed, आप बहुत ही disappointed है कि unprofessional dealing रहा प्री डिपार्चर सर्विसेज के टाइम. और फिर आपने जो है बताया कि आप बात कर रहे हैं न्यू टर्मिनल एयर इंडिया फ्लाइट्स की, और आप जॉन से बोल रहे हैं, आप अपना आइडेंटिटी दे रहे हैं कि 12 अक्टूबर 2020 को आप बोर्ड कर रहे थे, ये टिकट नंबर था आपका और ये एयरलाइंस प्लेन का ये नंबर था, दैट इज 773, और आप दिल्ली से मुंबई ट्रेवल कर रहे थे और सुबह 5 बजे की बात आप कर रहे हैं. सो दिस आइडेंटिटी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट व्हेन यू आर गिविंग द स्टार्टिंग पैराग्राफ. You have to keep in mind that they are not going to ask you in some of the letters your identity, but your identity is very important, and in this way some important things you are going to tell in the beginning, that who you are, which flight you were boarding, where you were going. So this will be your identity and it will make the first paragraph complete. So now if we talk about our strategy line, we had to give the greeting in the beginning. So greeting means whom you are addressing this letter to. आप किसको एड्रेस कर रहे हैं, that is the part of greeting. Because we do not know the name of the person, तो हम start करेंगे dear sir or madam. You can take the same format. And after that we have given the reason. रीजन क्या था कि हम अटरली डिसअपॉइंट हुए हैं बिकॉज ऑफ अनप्रोफेशनल डीलिंग ड्यूरिंग प्री डिपार्चर सर्विसेज. सो गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट, डिस्क्राइब व्हाट हैपेंड दैट कॉज यू मिस द फ्लाइट. और अब आप बताने वाले हैं कि क्या हुआ जिसके कारण आपका फ्लाइट मिस हुआ. लेट मी एक्सप्लेन माई सिचुएशन. आई वॉज ट्रेवलिंग टू मुंबई दैट डे for my emergency medical checkup and was wearing a lumbar sport belt because of an injury in my backbone. The security check had their protocols and had objection with it as the scanning machine was not giving the clearance. Since security check for medical aided people was not on duty that day, the whole process took exceptionally long time. And in the meantime, the plane took off. So आप रीजन दे रहे हैं, आप एक्सप्लेनेशन दे रहे हैं और आप बोल रहे हैं कि आप उस दिन इमरजेंसी में बॉम्बे के लिए ट्रैवल कर रहे थे, आप के बैकबोन में इंजरी था, आपने कोई लंबर स्पोर्ट बेल्ट पहना हुआ था और सिक्योरिटी चेक जिनके अपने कुछ रूल्स रेगुलेशन थे, प्रोटोकॉल्स थे, उनको ऑब्जेक्शन था क्योंकि जो स्कैनिंग मशीन है वो क्लियरेंस नहीं दे रहा था. और जो मेडिकल लोगों को, मेडिकल एडेड पीपल को चेक करने के लिए सिक्योरिटी वहां पे रहती है, वो उस दिन ड्यूटी पर नहीं थी. इसी कारण जो पूरा प्रोसेस है उसको एक्सेप्शनली बहुत ज्यादा टाइम लगा और इन द मीन टाइम जो प्लेन है वो फ्लाई कर गया. So this is a logic reason we have given, as we know that logical writing is very important for formal type of letters. So this was our complete, this was our explanation. Going to next, explain how missing your flight affected you. अभी explanation का हमारा एक और part है जिसमें आप ये बता रहे हैं कि फ्लाइट मिस होने से आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम फेस करना पड़ा. Needless to say which problems I faced thereafter. First, I had to take other flight with a new ticket and at an exceptionally high price. The doctor's appointment was postponed to the next day. My unnecessary stay in Mumbai cost me heavy on my pocket, and not to talk about the mental and physical inconvenience I had had that day. सो आपने 3 चीजें बताई यहाँ पे कि फ्लाइट मिस होने के करके सबसे पहले तो आपको न्यू टिकट लेना पड़ा जो काफी एक्सपेंसिव था. डॉक्टर की अपॉइंटमेंट भी नेक्स्ट डे के लिए पोस्टपोन हो गया और मुंबई में जो अननेसेसरी आपको स्टे करना पड़ा वो भी बहुत कॉस्टली रहा आपके लिए. और मेंटल फिजिकल जो एग्जॉशन हुआ उसकी तो बात ही मत करें. सो डियर लर्नर्स, दिस इज आल्सो अ पार्ट ऑफ अवर एक्सप्लेनेशन. These two part of explanation you can write in one paragraph together. There are many ways of making paragraphs. It depends which type of letter we are writing. But basically you can keep it mind, it is not like that कि आपको जैसे जैसे क्यूज दिए गए हैं आप उसी ढंग से अपना लेटर के उतने पैराग्राफ बनाएं. Because here we are taking two things at what how you miss the flight and how missing the flight affected you. हम ये दोनों points को explanation में रख सकते हैं and we are making one paragraph of it. But there is nothing hard and fast. It is up to you that how you are dividing your paragraph. Important thing you need to keep in mind is the strategy line. After giving the reason, you are giving the explanation. So let's move on. Make it clear what you would like the airline to do. So this is our last situation hint. I would earnestly request you to improve the security check service at your air station and make sure the presence of duty personnel at counter for people for medical equipments and make sure the presence of duty personnel at the counter for people with medical equipments. Beside this, I find it my right to apply for the full claim of my ticket money. यहाँ पे अब आप क्या बोल रहे हैं, आप बोल रहे हैं कि एक तो सिक्योरिटी चेक सर्विसेज जौन सी हैं वो इम्प्रूव होनी चाहिए एयर स्टेशन पे, और सेकेंडली आप बोल रहे हैं कि मेडिकल इक्विप जो लोग हैं उनके उनके स्कैनिंग के लिए भी जो ड्यूटी पर्सनल्स हैं वो भी जरूर प्रेजेंट रहें अपने ड्यूटी टाइम पे, इस बात को भी वो मेक श्योर करें. एंड देन यू आर मेकिंग अ रिक्वेस्ट कि आपको फुल क्लेम जो है आपका टिकट मनी का वो रिफंड किया जाए, रिटर्न किया जाए. दिस इज द रिक्वेस्ट दैट वी आर मेकिंग, दैट यू आर मेकिंग इन योर फॉर्मल लेटर राइटिंग. सो आई होप यू आर गेटिंग द थिंग्स. आप बात को समझ रहे हैं. लेट्स मूव ऑन. And now we are going to close our letter. We will say, I would sincerely appreciate your kind attention to this matter and will be highly obliged if you could initiate the refund of my ticket at your earliest. हमने दो important बातों को फिर से repeat कर दिया. And these are the beautiful structure for writing formal letter, most importantly when we are ending up. I read it for you again, dear learners. I would sincerely appreciate your kind attention to this matter and will be highly obliged if you could initiate the refund of my ticket at your earliest. Thanking you in anticipation. Yours faithfully, ABC is the name that we are giving. So this is our ending. And these two sentences, thanking you in anticipation and yours faithfully, ABC is the name. Thanking you in anticipation and faithfully are the signing off signature lines that we should never forget to write when we are giving our formal set of writing. And in place of name, you can, if some name is given, you can write the name, otherwise you can write ABC. And for formal letter writing, you know that it is important we should go with the sign of signature, that is yours faithfully or faithfully yours. So our storyline completes here, our strategy line completes here, and I believe you have got all the things that how we have to write our formal letter. You would have got good understanding of it. And I show it to you again. So we started with the greeting, we gave the reason. This was our first paragraph. Explanation was the second paragraph. Request was the third paragraph. And then ending, sign off, and name were only a few sentences with which we ended. You can watch the video again and again to have better understanding. And now I would request you to keep in mind a few important things and never to forget. Memorize some important starters. Uh, that is how you are going to give the reason, explanation, and request. For this, dear learners, I take you back and I tell you that which sentences you need to memorize. Yes, when you have to give the reason, then you can memorize this phrase. In the first paragraph, you can memorize this phrase, I am writing this letter to express. And after that, you would be giving the reason, you would be giving your identity, and you can easily frame your starting paragraph. After that, when you have to give the explanation, then it will be very easy for you if you could memorize this phrase, let me explain my situation. Let me explain my situation, and then you are explaining the situation. And finally, when you have to make a request, then you can memorize. For that ending paragraph, third paragraph, you can memorize this sentence, this complete phrase. I would honestly request you to. So these are the phrases, dear learners, that you can memorize and can make good practice of writing formal letters. Coming back to our slide, I believe that this point is very clear to you now. For reason, I have told you, for reason, explanation, and for request, I have asked you to memorize the starting phrases and make some practice of writing formal letters. After that, it is important that you should have some collection of impressive phrases, collocations, synonyms, adverbs, and adjectives to make your writing more beautiful. But you should do not use the word you are not sure the meaning of. While working on vocabulary, you have to make one thing very clear in your mind. If you do not know the meaning of any word, forcibly do not write anything, because it can affect your band score. And most importantly, always write on the topic. Try to understand the letter first and do not deviate from the main subject. Be careful about the accurate grammar. Your grammatical structure matters the most. Always give some logic reason that makes the letter look really impressive and genuine. And then always sign off in a formal manner, as we have discussed in this video. So these are the important things you need to keep in your mind. And I say that never forget these points. So it is done for today, dear learners. Like, comment, and share it with your friends who are also preparing for IELTS examination for journal module importantly. And thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video with the semi-formal letter discussion. Till then, take care and bye-bye.